a bit of a different look tonight.
Well, a lot of these guys have been very up and down, as we've spoken about. I like Scotty Machado, the point guard. He's been impressive, leads the NBL in assists, has to start to score a little bit tonight for them as well.
It's a tip-off at RAC Arena, Hungry Jacks, NBL 20. And it will be the Taipans in possession first. The Red Army on their feet to start things off. And the Cairns have started their games well. As Gazy said, they've been in the lead in all three so far, but yet to cash in the second half of a game. Already the shot clock down to 5. Newell will have to get busy. He's drawn a foul.
And Hammer, I reckon that's going to be the key for Cairns, is if they want to get up and try and think they're going to outscore the Perth Wildcats, they're in for a long night. I think grinding it out, getting quality shots in that last 6 seconds of the shot clock, as opposed to earlier, is going to be a key.
I agree. And playing some sort of zone and trying to really mix things up is going to be critical for them as well.
Deng down low, goes to work on Kay. The shot clock again expires. Deng got it to go, but he walked.
Little shuffling of the feet in that low block, playing on the low post. Doesn't look all that comfortable. Very good at the mid-range, but with his size, if he can develop that low post game a little bit more, not just as a finisher, but as a passer, becomes a whole lot tougher to guard.
There's that matchup early of Cotton and Newell. Cotton errant with the pass, doesn't turn the ball over all that often.
Oh, jeez.
But straight away, there's an immediate turnover, and the Wildcats get the ball back. Sloppy from both teams early. Tariko White from mid-range. No good. Taipans ball. So both teams still yet to score. Machado pulls it back out to Newell for the long-range attempt. He's off target also. Martin with the pass to Dario Hunt, who gets upstairs, and the Wildcats draw first blood.
Great pass from Damien Martin.
Yeah.
And that was just too easy, though. They've got to have weak side help. There's no need to be denying Hunt at the top of the key. He needs to be clogging it up and challenging Hunt to be able to get a catch and potentially spray it up.
That does get the crowd going straight away. Noy in the low block, falling away. Fell into the hands of Machado in the end. Oliver, who can do it from every part of the court with a 3-ball.
He is. He's got some bounce, and the kick out there, the wide open 3, those catch and shoots. I think they're top 3 in 3-point field goals percentages, so they can knock down the 3-ball.
Nick Kay up the other end does what Nick Kay does best.
That's just too easy on the low block, playing behind and just letting Nick Kay operate.
Oliver again.
Oh my.
Off the feet.
Told you he had some
rocket launches in his feet.
Well, we've seen he can play from the perimeter and he can play above the ring as well. The problem that he's had so far early in this season is just consistency of being able to do it throughout an entire game.
Pretty much the case of the Cairns Taipans across the board.
They lead early stages. Kay short. Martin with the rebound on the putback. Cam Oliver already building his own very impressive highlights package. Meanwhile, Noy gets busy and gets down low for 2 more.
Yeah, I like that. When he gets out, tempo control, it's about balance. Push it down. If you can find something cheap early on, then absolutely, you've got to go ahead and take it. And that's going to be the big question for Cairns, if they can just find that balance.
Tariko White, the feed to Kay, and then Hunt misses out the first time, gets his own rebound and puts it back in.
Yeah, way to stay with it for Hunt. And he's really got something to prove. First game really struggled, a lot of question marks about him. Much better against the Hawks in game 2, and that's way too easy also for Newell, just driving down the middle of the key.
It is. It's parting the seas there. This is a little uncharacteristic of the Perth Wildcats on the defensive end.
26 points for DJ Newell on Monday night, 5 of 8 from outside the arc. It's Martin from outside the arc. Rattles in and out. The Taipans again look to push the ball. Noy against the traffic. Tough move.
And that really is a great take. And you said it before, Drewy. This is exactly what Cairns have to do, is pick and choose. At the moment, they've been able to get some stops. So it's allowed them to get out in transition and get themselves into the paint. They're not spraying it up from the perimeter. But on the other hand, when Perth start making shots, and they will,
yes,
they have to be able to get it through hands and take more time off the clock and just get ready to be able to adjust the tempo of the game.
Started all 3 games so far at NBL 20, Kouatnoi. His first game, very impressive, 14 points in round 1, but 8 points and 4 points last weekend.
Well, in that first game, he had 6 offensive rebounds as well. He was really active on the boards, and he has to make that a consistency of his game.
Hunt muscles his way in, couldn't finish. JY stood there and just waited for it, so Martin swooped, and he's got it back again.
Just reads the ball so well off the rim. Damian Martin, no athleticism at all. Unsportsmanlike foul. And that's a foul that they do not need to be able to put Bryce Cotton to the line for 2 free throws.
It certainly is, particularly when you've got a team starting to think about it. The Perth Wildcats started off real shaky, 3 of 11 from the field, missing some shots, generated some transition baskets out of it. And now we're going to see just as he's on, as he went to set that on-ball screen hammer, just grabbing him, and that's where the unsportsmanlike foul kicks in. And this is not textbook, this free throw shooting technique by any stretch of the imagination.
I've seen worse though.
I have, but you've really got to go a long way to see a lot worse. Just a little hesitation, a little conniption halfway through it.
A little kink in his swing.
Well, I'd probably extend it beyond a little. It's a significant kink as we extending the arm, but hey, he knocks them both down, drops them in, so he knows his own game.
Breakout game for him last week. Dario Hunt, 16 points, 9 rebounds. Jared Kenny checking in for his first minutes for the Taipans.
Well, Bryce Cotton still hasn't had a field goal attempt, so that's great effort from Cairns Taipans.
Here's Nick Kay back to the basket. And again, White went for this big-time dunk. Misses out, got some body contact from JY as well. But Perth again on the offensive glass. Now he's on the board.
And I think the Perth Wildcats have to recognise if Bryce Cotton hasn't taken a shot in a couple of minutes, they need to be calling out a play, getting him an opportunity to do what he does best, because he's unselfish as well. He'll make plays not just to score, but to bring his teammates into it as well.
So Taipans by 2. JY with the baby hook.
We see also, and you see how teams will look at what others do, and the last couple of possessions, they ran a little flow action there, really ran a Brisbane Bullets Andre Lamana set that he uses both of the boomers these last couple of times, and I have no problem with that. I think if you see something you like it, you get through some motion, a good way to use the ball, get it through some hands.
Gazy's the keys to the game tonight for the Wildcats. A couple here that you put down that they need to do well tonight.
Oh yeah, certainly pace of play as we're talking about. They want to get up and down. They want this score in the 90s and above, and they give them a good chance to continue on their winning streak. And of course, trying to restrict Cairns from the 3-point line. 3rd
in the competition from outside the arc, the Taipans, despite being 0-3. That is one thing that they're doing well early in NBL 20. Jawai again. Same shot, same result. It'll be the challenge for Nate tonight to stay out of foul trouble for the Taipans. Their keys to the game. Look after the ball, Gazy. That is one that you dragged out before the game and said they have to respect the basketball more. That's it. And when you look at their scoring, if you can restrict Cotton and White, you go a long way to keeping the Wildcats to a reasonable score or a defendable score, and then taking care of the basketball. I mean, that's critical. That goes across the board for any team. It's pretty much an obvious one. But when you don't have the same depth of talent and you're looking for areas where you can gain an advantage, just no self-inflicted wounds. So Cotton to the line.
Go, one shot.
Misses the first, an 86% free throw through to shooter so far this year. Makes good on the second. And the Wildcats take the lead with 4 minutes remaining in the first.
Tell you one thing I have noticed, I don't know whether it was from last week, the edict might have gone out, but gee whiz, how good have the last couple of games been where we haven't had the 12-inch mix of the latest dance track going on while the game's going?
Pop the gaze.
You're sounding like your old man.
I know.
I'm feeling like it too.
No, I felt it.
That's a tough finish and a good finish by Deng. Cairns get the lead, or draw it level at 14, I should say. Steindl yet to hit a three-pointer this season, steps inside for two. That hits the front of the rim as well.
That's a shot that Nick Kay has to take himself, though. He's got the ball running right underneath the basket. I love the fact that he's unselfish, trying to bring other people into the game, but he also has to understand he is one of the best four-man in the entire competition, and part of that is being able to put the ball in the hole.
Dario Hunt picks up his second.
This is a very, very tough assignment. I don't know what he did a whole lot wrong. Slides his feet, keeps him in front. Didn't seem like he did too much wrong there, Hunt, but what a tough assignment. You just got this man, probably 140 kilos plus, trying to keep him out of the paint. Very hard in a one-on-one situation. A little bit of zone now for the Wildcats.
Okay, Jerichin as well. Jawai the skip pass, I should say. Kenny with the rebound, gives Cairns another opportunity. Another long bomb from Noy. They'll get it back again. Deng falling away. They've had their chances, the Taipans. Trevor Gleeson won't be happy with that from a Perth perspective. This time Kenny with the long two. Cairns will get it back again.
It is, and these are the hustle plays that right now Mike Kelly would be loving. Missing some shots that they need to knock down, but to come up with second, third, or in this case, fourth chances at it, really going to help their cause.
Jawai spinning away, this time gets it to work.
Just too deep. He shuffles his feet. You either got to try and push him off the block by denying the pass. Physically, you're not going to push him off, but try and make him catch it a little wider. But when he catches it that deep and you don't send a double, he's just going to crab dribble and into the no charge circle, and really good touch around the basket for the big fella.
Taipans lead by two. 2:30 remaining in the first.
And they've done a great job, Cairns. 31% from the field for the Perth Wildcats so far in this game.
It's Koff with the tough treble.
Well, you can't play any better D than that. He carried a hand, a contested hand against one of the best three-point shooters in the competition, who goes bang.
I think you got to try and run him off the three-point line, just even overcommit, make him put it. He might beat you another way, but some good action there by Cairns. But with Cotton, you got to pick something and say, let's try and take something away from him, because he's that good. He can beat you in so many different ways, and don't give him those choices.
It was only a couple of minutes ago, Hammy, he said that he hadn't scored. He's up to 9 points now, and looking to get busy on Newell once again. He steps back on him. Goodness me.
And that's the one I'm talking about, Hammond. Just stay up, make him drive by you. Just take away the three-point shot, and we'll figure out your rotations.
12 points in this quarter for Bryce Cotton, 12 last week as well, first up against Illawarra, but it's still the Taipans who hang on to this narrow lead.
And when Cotton gets this type of confidence early, and he starts to see the rim get that little bit bigger, boy, is he a handful.
4 from 4. He's only taken 4 shots. 100%, 11 points in this first quarter. Had 23 at the half last week, so playing with that sort of confidence again here tonight. But he's just picking and choosing. But as you say, Truey, once he makes his first, and he got that off a layup, now he's just so tough.
Kate thought about giving it up, went himself, and a good decision.
And that's what happens when you turn him into a driver.
Correct.
Because he's got the vision.
Correct.
And he's unselfish to bring other people into the game.
100%, but I reckon you're better off taking the odds, having someone else beating you.
Steindl trying to bring Reece Vague into the game and turn the ball over. Cairns up the other end with a big dunk from Deng.
Well, that's great transition from Cairns. Uncharacteristic of the Perth Wildcats, turning that one over when they had a 3-on-2 at the other end.
Cotton looking to do it himself. Threw up a rainmaker. Perth ball from the baseline.
Just going for the 2-for-1, I would have thought on that one, just the penetration, try and get a quality shot up. And still in that 2-for-1 range, just need a quick one.
Norton couldn't get the ball away in time.
Great job from Cairns, really denying all of those options, understanding the set. Really good coaching from Mike Kelly too, walking through what their out-of-bounds plays are and really taking those options away. And they're the sort of little plays that you have to be able to execute when you don't have as much talent and depth as the opposition.
Quiet first quarter from Scott Machado, hasn't scored. Averaging 14 points a game so far in NBL 20. He might be the man here. Falling away from inside the key, gets it to go down and tumbles in. And Cairns leading.
They got fouls to give.
Kay on the buzzer, easy two. It rolls in and out. That's been the story of Cairns' season so far. They've had early leads and they've blown them in the second half. Well, it's an ideal start for them. They lead 24-22 after quarter number one. Friday night basketball at RAC. Of two games, Friday night basketball. Earlier tonight, it was the Sydney Kings defeating the New Zealand Breakers 96-91. It's had its moments in this first quarter, but it's a lead to the Taipans, boys.
Certainly is, and well-deserved as well.
As we start this second quarter, let's get down to Lockie Reid, who was listening in to Trevor Gleeson.
Well, gents, an entertaining quarter-time huddle for the Perth Wildcats as the steam was coming out of Trevor Gleeson's ears. Damien Martin took control of the huddle for the first part, and he said, Bryce is on fire, we've got to start setting screens. He's killing it right now, let's get the ball to him. Trev disagreed, he took Bryce off and gave him a bit of a rev up.
Well, I think the rev up would probably have more to do with what's going on the defensive end. Letting a team shoot 58% in the quarter, 11 of 19, that'll get any coach's attention.
Well, and the worrying thing for Mike Kelly is your team shot 58%, holding the opposition to 36, and you're only up 2 points.
Machado turns the ball over.
Some good looks in that 58%. Only took 4 3-point field goal attempts, 1 of 4. So really trying to get downhill, put some heat on the rim, and test this Perth Wildcats defense out.
Now, they've played perfectly so far, the Cairns Taipans. The question mark comes, can that continue? You have a look at our man, the MVP last year, and Tariko White, 0 from 4 from the field. He hasn't scored. He's got a donut at the moment, so no doubt he is going to come good at some stage, but kudos to the Cairns Taipans early.
Well, Perth have shown already against a undermanned but still high-quality Melbourne United team. They shot 65% for the game, Hammer. 65% for the game and come up short. So the Wildcats, with this real experienced core that they have and very successful core that they have, they know how to get it done and can win in a variety of different ways.
A WhatsApp question for tonight. You can get involved as Jerich launches the three. Is this the year? Is this year's Perth Wildcats team, I should say, more talented than last year's? 0415 139 414 to get involved.
Yeah, I'd say no.
No, I agree.
I'd say no. I think Angus was a star in our league, and he's going to be missed. And the role players, the Greg Hire, the Jervis, these guys that really just came in at times. Not sure it's quite there yet, but that's not to say they can't have the same success.
Give us your thoughts. Reece Baig lighting it up for the Wildcats.
The other thing I say no to is that last shot from Jerry. You just don't want to be spraying it up. That's exactly what they did well in that first quarter. He's come down virtually in transition with a contested three.
Machado with his feet set.
He needs to shoot more. He's taken 2 shots. He's 2 from 2 from the field. I admire the fact that he's leading the league in assists, but he has to continue to play a role of being able to balance that with points and assists as their best import.
16 points and 10 assists against Brisbane, 14 points against Illawarra last weekend. Norton drew the contact. Officials let it go, and Norton might have got a finger or Thumb in the eye. Wagstaff wide open. This will bring the fans into it.
He's a pro, he's a veteran, does what it takes. Extended defense now. And they get through it.
Newell thought about the three, instead went deep. Loose ball, Norton comes up with it for the Wildcats. Starting to motor. Wagstaff again. Hits the front of the rim.
Have a look at the intensity on the defensive end from this all-Australian lineup. Oh, my, that looked like a charge.
That looked like a perfect charge. Norton picked it, but maybe from the other angle, we might have a different point of view.
Oh, I'm not sure we will. You cannot play any better defense than that. And the crowd agrees. The Red Army says, you are kidding.
Yeah, that's just
That's
really,
plump.
that is really good defense by him. He picked him, Machado out of control, and
they've
changed it.
Turn it around.
Fair enough, too.
Oh, wow.
I'm saying that if I was Mike Kelly, but
Well, the only way they could have done that is that there were two whistles, and one of the officials has come in and overrode the other.
I certainly didn't see that. I think that was called by the Red Army.
Well, yeah, well, it's extraordinary. That's what I'm saying. Unless there was two whistles, I don't see how a ref can come in and just overrule if they haven't blown their whistle. If they've blown their whistle and made the call, then that makes sense.
But normally there would be a discussion at the time if that was going to be the case.
Well, no,
that certainly didn't seem to happen.
It only needed a quick discussion to happen because we all knew what it was.
Steindl falling away for two. Off target. Let's get down to Lockie Reed to try and make some sense of that.
I don't know whether I'll make sense of it, but there weren't two whistles. There's no doubt about that. But the main referee came in and said, no, disagree with that one. I'm going to overrule it, gents.
Well, we like that because the right decision was made. So a bit of communication, common sense prevails.
Yeah, I agree.
Steindl having some woes shooting the ball this season. It's normally his strong suit. Mentioned before, yet to hit a three-point shot in NBL 20. Machado, there's a shot clock inside 10 seconds. A pass that ended up a shot. And a turnover. And veteran Damian Martin, he turns it over also. The Taipans need to cash in. Machado for three. That'll make you happy, Hammer.
Well, and that's exactly what I want to see. He deserved that too because it was a great deflection. He got the steal against Damian Martin. The other end didn't hesitate, let it rip from the three-point line.
30 apiece midway through the second. Vague's got the mismatch. Defers to Clint Steindl. That's more like it.
It is, and the thing I love about him, he never seems to lose confidence. He can go on these streaks where he can miss a few, but he knows his role on the team and always seems to carry really good body language and looks really confident even if he's missed a few.
You'd respect that.
Love it. Love it.
I've seen you miss a few and it's like you've made 10 in a row.
Well, if you've got a shooter's mentality and you're going to be a great shooter, that's what you have to do, Hammer. And I think that you're well and truly, and probably even more so in the bandwagon than what I was.
I can relate. That's why I'm respecting it.
It was a slower start for Bryce Cotton tonight, but he leads all scorers at the moment. 11 points on 4 of 5, and he doesn't need much of an invitation.
No, he doesn't. And once it starts rolling, and again, we spoke about it, he hadn't taken a shot for the first 3 or 4 minutes, and that was his first bucket of the game. Great drive, and then it makes it tough because now he's got his step backs going from 3. As I said before, called a game where he had 45 points in a grand final game, and again, that is just a highly contested shot. That this time, step back going left. He's proven he can do it right. Just very, very tough to be able to defend.
As the penetration, it's all
Scorers in the competition, if not the best scorer, continues on his merry way for the last 6 minutes 18 of the second quarter.
2018 league MVP, 2-time scoring champion as well, Bryce Cotton. The Wildcats are starting to get their noses in front out of the timeout. Cairns have got to get busy here. 3 on the shot clock. Machado stepping back, look for contact, and he can't make it work.
Well, there's no doubt there's been a change in the behaviour on the defensive end. The last couple of possessions and the most of this quarter, whatever the steam that was coming out of Trevor Gleeson's ears, that it was, I would assume, directed at the defensive end, because there has been a noticeable change.
Well, and no coincidence, too, that he went to Damien Martin, Norton, Wagstaff at quarter time and said, fellas, this is the tempo we need to be able to play with at the defensive end. Everyone else take a look.
It's Nick Kay with the block. Unfortunately, there wasn't much support outside of that.
Great effort by Kay, and like you say, just not a lot there, not enough red jerseys.
As Cairns step to the free throw line, Lockie Reid was listening in to Mike Kelly in that last time out, Lock.
Yeah, very calm, Mike Kelly, gents. They've actually spent the whole week here, the Cairns Taipans. After their Hawks game, they flew straight to Perth. They fly out tonight on the Midnight Horror, which is a bit of a tough ask for him. But he was calm during that time out. He just implored on his players to take a little bit more time to run through their offense. Too many early shots in the shot clock.
Well, that's it. He'd be aware of the urgency around tempo control. And it's a real fine line, because you don't want the guys to go out there and lack confidence and start to think about, well, should I or shouldn't I shoot this ball? You've got to, but it's got to be in the flow and in the rhythm and the context of the possession.
Kay for 2.
He's ready for a big year, Nick Kay. He was outstanding last year, All-Star 5, and didn't he do a great job for the Boomers playing at the World Cup as well? He was a bit of a surprise for me, because you're just not sure with his size and mobility, just being a bit undersized, of whether he's going to be able to translate his game from the NBL to international basketball. Because Damien Martin just picked him.
And Kay took care of the rest.
Oh, he is unbelievable, Damien Martin, at the defensive end, picking up 90 feet.
Oliver cuts through, but his layup not going down.
And they might, with this extended full court pressure they've got, they might give up a few, but it's creating a higher tempo game.
Kay missed the first time, made the adjustment, but again, this time deep with his 3. Perth starting to get the game on their terms. Slowly but surely. Oliver driving and laying it up.
Good spacing, good rip through. Another good high percentage play. They're still at almost 52%, so just need to take care of those turnovers where they got 7. And they're not doing a whole lot wrong, really, at the start of the first half of this one.
And what Cairns have to be aware of, as you see a foul there, no doubt there was a holding foul on Damien Martin, is that when things start going down the gurgler, they go down in a big way. And they will have spoken about it, because they've given up big leads. 22-8 in the last quarter against the Sydney Kings, after really dominating the majority of that game. So if this man gets going, Tariko White, that's his first make of the game. And he was outstanding last year in the playoffs. He really carried this Perth Wildcats team.
Dangerous signs for the Taipans. Have to put some work into that man. Down low they head. Big Nate muscling in. There's a hold there on Cotton that the official didn't see, but it's Cotton in the open court. Laying up and missing out. Tariko White will put it back in.
And this is what we're talking about with the tempo. Turnover created from the defensive end for the Perth Wildcats. Getting out, putting easy points on the board. Up to 42% now from the field.
And look at the second effort as well. There we see a couple of red jerseys coming down. White picks it up, puts it back in. And I like this timeout. You just feel the momentum starting to swing, getting up and down, turnovers, easy shots for the Wildcats. And Mike Kelly just needs to Settle the fellas down.
Scott, get DJ.
Get back to your game plan.
Hey, they got like 11 offensive rebounds right now. 11 offensive rebounds. Hit a fucking body. Hit somebody, okay? If we're gonna foul somebody, make it with full contact. Offensively now, I love it with you in the post, okay? Let's just make sure, JK, if you and Scott are on the same side, okay, and Nate's here, let's make JK the screener. Even if you're down here, you become the screener, and Scott, you just make a lead to get that thing back on trans reverse rub. Okay, so JK becomes a screener. We hit there, you're over the top. We're still looking at that. Sorry. Scott becomes a screener. Scott, you're the screener every time. Okay, here we go.
Well, that's indicating that he likes what he sees when Jawai gets the ball down low. He's got the little dribble into the paint, and good touch around the rim. He can score. And what he was really focusing there and what his action's going to be off the ball. So if they do send a double team or just through pure motion, and we saw that in the earlier game today, the Sydney Kings were fantastic working off the low post and that body movement.
Well, the thing I expected to hear more of from Mike Kelly then was being able to look after the ball. They've got 8 turnovers. And again, we spoke about turnovers being able to fuel the offense and getting the crowd into it for the Perth Wildcats.
Jawai, they go down low and it works.
That's the one, and really good execution on the offensive end of what they focused on about where they thought they had an advantage.
But Hunt needs to adjust as well. We spoke about it earlier. He needs to be able to three-quarter that, challenge Cairns to be able to throw it over the top, which potentially leads into getting turnovers again for the Wildcats.
Norton will settle for 3. Cairns rebound. 17 turnovers a game Cairns are averaging at the moment. It's not a good number to start NBL 20. That's a good number for Kuat Noi. 3 of them. The Taipans have scored the last 5 points. Here's Mitch Norton. He wanted to hand off to Cotton. Instead dumps it down to his Boomers teammate and Kay. And Dario Hunt with the nice finish.
That's a great play. Really good cut behind the head of the defense. But I'd like to see them get Bryce Cotton more offense right now. Has not scored in this second quarter, but hasn't had too many opportunities either.
Inside 2 minutes before halftime. Kenny with the tough finish. Perth push the ball. They want that tempo going their way, as Gazy and Hammer have been talking about. Kay with a couple of attempts. He's drawn a foul.
4th foul for the Cairns Taipans. Great effort from Nick Kay. Missed a little bunny that he thought he should have made, kicking himself, but stayed with it. And when he got this board, recognised there was Cairns Taipans all around him. He had 3-point shooters towing up the 3-point line. They were naked, ready for an open one.
The Wildcats, they want to have a bit of a chat about it now. 1:30 remaining. Have we got free throws to come? We've got sideline out of bounds. So I think they see this as just as a critical phase. If you're the Wildcats, just how you want to finish this half.
Nate gets the ball just in the corner. Go and just roll off that. Hey, he's getting the ball too deep. You've got to get around 3-quarter. I know he's big. Yeah. Don't let it come in so easy. Hey, once it in, we're trap one on the dribble. Got that? Hey, don't need the help. Okay, penetrate and the kick out. Just square him up. Keep him in front all the time. Make him a jump shooter. Okay, we're still opening it up. All of us are doing it. Just square the ball up. Keep it in front. You don't have to put hard pressure when they're driving. 4 down. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Trevor Gleeson, Hammer, as we take a look at the team fouls, but Trevor Gleeson talking exactly what we're referring to in regards to how in which he wants to guard Jawai down low and trying to half front it. But the good thing about the way Cairns play, they run that little UCLA cut. So they bring the big out, kick it to the wing, and when you're on the move to get to that low post, it is a little bit more difficult to get into that 3-quarter fronting position. So good work by the Cairns Taipans.
We heard from Perth. Let's hear what Cairns had to say, Lockie.
Jacko, same message from Mike Kelly without the expletive. Bang the bodies and get under and take some rebounds. On this occasion, he mentioned it, that Nick Kay had 4 around him, 4 Cairns Taipans around him, and he still got the boards, and now he goes to the foul line.
Nick Kay missing out. First up.
It's an extraordinary number.
14 offensive rebounds. You'd be kicking yourself if that happened over an entire game, let alone with 1:30 to go in the first half, as Kay misses both.
First free throw misses of the season for Nick Kay. It's Perth by 4. Inside 90 seconds before the main break. They go low again, the Taipans. Kenny with the offensive rebound. So Cairns getting busy on the O glass. Shifts it to the corner. Majuk Deng.
Great hit by Deng, and that's where he looks his most comfortable, when he's playing on the perimeter, face to the basket. And showed it even with the Adelaide 36ers, he can get super hot from the three-point line.
Nick Kay run out of room. Cotton for 2. Cairns with a chance to take the lead just before half-time. And the foul on the shooter. Deng's got 3 to come.
Well, that's just a bad foul from Nick Kay. And you recognise that you're playing against somebody that can really shoot the ball, but you just can't afford to be able to follow through, get that foul. You've got to be able to close out short, contest late. But 3 free throws right here, an opportunity for the Cairns Taipans to be able to put themselves in front again for the 4th straight time.
Really no doubt about the contact on the shot. The other thing is the coach. We heard Trevor Gleeson in that timeout talking to Hunt, saying you need a 3-quarter. And what annoys the most out of you, the very next possession, he doesn't do it. He doesn't even attempt to do it.
I was thinking he might have been Brazilian and needed an interpreter. It might have been from the game before.
And sometimes
Did he not understand or what? Well, it was pretty simple instruction.
Absolutely, and sometimes in the heat of the moment, and let's not forget it, it's not easy to get in that position because it is a very wide, really strong body. But as a coach, you just like to see at least them attempting to get into that position, to exactly some sort of recognition that you comprehended what we were trying to convey in the timeout.
Now you are talking like a frustrated coach.
Oh, no, just sort of observing what I'm seeing.
It took 3 rounds, Hammer, and we've already got it out of him. Tariko White to respond. The Taipans can run the shot clock right the way down. And take a handy little buffer into half-time. Kenny falls over. Now he's got a problem. He's got to try and hang on to the ball. He somehow released it. Noi for 3. 4 games, 4 leads at half-time for the Cairns Taipans. The problem is not one of them.
Hitting our fast break, so something we've got to focus on this half.
Trevor Gleeson joining us. We thank him for his time, as always.
Certainly a bit short and sharper than what you were, Drewy.
Sometimes you've got a few things you need to get off your chest.
Didn't seem all that happy, Trevor Gleeson, with what he was seeing through his men in the first half. Moy goes to work and tries to get busy to start the 3rd.
Well, in fact, they did actually win the rebound count, but I think we all understand what Trevor's talking about and how in which there's some areas for improvement in the way in which Cairns were able to get out and run through the opportunities they got from cleaning up the boards.
That turnover won't make the Perth coach happy. Machado got Martin up in the air and steps back for another 3.
And that's why I want him to get more aggressive at the offensive end. 4 from 5 now from the field. 11 points for Machado, and we know he can create, but he's got real talent from the perimeter.
Hammer wants him to shoot more, and when he's dropping him like that, I'm sure Mike Kelly's thinking the same thing. Here he is this time off the dribble, getting creative.
Little step through. He knocks down the 3 ball. Damien Martin tightens up. He goes around him. And a nice little kiss off the glass in traffic.
He leads all scorers with 13 points now. Averaging 14 for the season. The skipper wide open.
Well, you see a wide open jump shot, you might say that's a breakdown on defense, but that's actually good D. They sent Damien Martin's man to Bryce Cotton, gave up that open shot, which is a percentage defensive play from Mike Kelly and Cairns Taipans.
The only thing I would say, that weak side's got to at least stunt at Martin. They want him to shoot. It's the lesser of two evils, of course. It's the right thing to do, but you still need to stunt at getting trying to think about it a little.
Machado down low. Good pass, and the N1 to come for Deng.
Gee, they're executing well. That time get a good inside target and they make the most of it. They throw it in there.
And I like the fact they're playing off Machado early. And that might be the solution for them. Don't just play where you're moving the ball willy-nilly and giving everyone an equal opportunity. Play through this kid. Give him an opportunity to score, but also create for his teammate. His decision-making is exceptional.
Well, that's a spot-on example of that, Hammer. He goes in, the help comes from Kay, and quick release for the pass. So he's showing all what he's got in his arsenal.
Deng has 13 points, had 19 in a game against Perth here last year, but then he was a 36er. Martin misses the easy one, but the hustle of Damien Martin that we've come to know and love, and he gets the ball back for the Wildcats. Tariko White caps off Martin's good work.
And that just kills you when the Cairns Taipans, you get a lucky break with a missed layup and it turns into a 3 with a sloppy turnover.
Just diving on loose balls and making things happen for his team. Still the Taipans by 4. Noi off balance.
Wow. Wow. What a shot. And again, he has to turn the same sort of form that he had in the first half. He has to replicate that, not just be settling for one good half of each game.
Majuk wide open. He'll take care of the easy 2.
And that's what happens. You saw what the Cairns Taipans were doing there. They're showing a blitz on Cotton as we take a look down the other end. A little step through. That's just great touch by Noi. But when you've got that blitz going on, it really puts a lot of emphasis on your rotations. They've got to be quick.
Newble in the spin cycle. 2 more of his own.
Great poise from Newble. Virtually double team, but just stepped through it. Great play.
Cairns have had an answer. It's bucket for bucket in this 3rd quarter.
And again, it came from the hard show on the on-ball. They're coming out. They're really trying to put some pressure on the ball. And the slip was on. Little zone defense now.
Oliver dumps it underneath, and Deng with the tough finish.
That is just beautiful execution by the Cairns Taipans. That high post area is the most vulnerable as a feeding position against the zone. And that high-low action, really good stuff by the Taipans.
A soft touch finish for Tariko White with 2 more. 8th in the competition for points scored this year, Cairns. They're going to have to keep doing this, aren't they, to win this game?
Well, again, I think it's what we spoke about in the first half. They have to pick and choose, and they can't get into just a track meet against this Perth Wildcats. But at the same time, they have to keep being aggressive, and they've got 2 very good looks against this 2-3 zone, something for Trevor Gleeson to think about.
Coming up to 5 minutes left in the period. Nick Kay sends it deep. Just really the first chance that we got to catch our breath.
Phenomenal offense by the Taipans. Give them credit, but I'm pretty sure Trevor Gleeson not happy. They were getting blown by when they're in the man-to-man and just getting to the rim. So he has a look at a zone, and it almost has become even easier for points around the basket.
I'm not sure now's the time to take Machado out either. Cotton has not scored since quarter time.
Machado sits down with 13 points to his name on 5 of 6 from the field. Oliver from the elbow. Uncontested too.
How easy. They're showing a hand. That's 6 for 6. The last 6 possessions, they're 6 of 6. And really good, high-quality shots.
Well, Trevor Gleeson's searching, but I'm not sure a 2-3 zone is what he should be looking at. I would be more inclined for him to be able to get up the floor. They look good at stages in that first half where they put pressure on, tried to turn the tempo into the way they want to play, not allowing Cairns to be able to pick and choose when to run.
I 100% agree, but the ease in which they were getting blown by in that man-to-man, even the great Damian Martin was having his problems keeping anyone in front of him, and a little standing timeout. So this is where the rules of the NBL, we're not allowed to go in there, so
for good reason.
Trevor Gleeson, he's going to be having some real choice words and laying down the law, and sometimes you do this if you want to direct it at someone specifically as well, so you don't need the world to see what you're saying. So it's all about the defense now for the Perth Wildcats. They haven't been shocking on the offensive end. They've missed a few that they're normally going to make.
Well, he looked like he was talking to Damian Martin, searching for advice on what he felt like they should be doing right now, and sometimes that's not a bad thing either.
Well, you definitely need to, you want your players to take ownership of it, and there you see the point scorers. Deng has been on fire, 15. Machado has done it in a really efficient manner. So some really positive signs here for the Cairns Taipans.
The lead is 8 for the visitors. It's the biggest lead for either team in the match. See how the Wildcats can respond out of the timeout. As Hammer said, they're searching for answers. They're being pushed and pushed hard.
2 shots there. Great pass from Damian Martin. But they have to find a way to get Bryce Cotton into this game. Again, we mentioned before, he hasn't scored since quarter time. 11 points in that first quarter. And you can't just allow him to get into the game on his own. You've got to run him off some pin downs, some double picks high, give him an opportunity to be able to pick and choose when he wants to score or create for his teammates. It's just too good.
Kay makes the first.
One shot.
On a title in his first season as a Wildcat last year. It was an integral part of it.
It's probably an advantage for the Taipans because they went in too early, but it still resulted in a tip dunk, so it worked out well.
Hold your line.
Not sure Majuk was that happy about it. Better result for Nick Kay this time around.
Here's this full court pressure that we were talking about. Have a look at that. 8 from 9 from the field this quarter for the Cairns Taipans. Wow.
That's how you fix your third quarters. Deng for another treble.
Wow. Just really good ball movement. There seems to be a real composure about the way they're doing it, Hammer, sharing it around, and again, not a lot of stress in that half-court set because of the reactive defense.
Oliver with the rebound for the Taipans. Just to push this lead out even further. Newell's lost the handle. Be a Wildcats ball.
This is another one, Hammer. You say in isolation, that's a really good play. You see the deflection comes off the knee, but they've got this little roll on. You can just sense the frustration in the Perth Wildcats, and to me, that's the time. Hey, let's do an 18-second offense just to keep them, because when you're down and you think you should be up, you want to get it back quick, and you get that ball straight back into your hands. Sometimes the psychological advantage that you get from that is hurtful as well.
Jericho White still trying to really work his way into this game tonight. Has 10 points, but hasn't had a massive influence on the contest. Here's Cotton. That was going in the first quarter.
Well, these are all shots that we've seen both those players make over and over again. Jericho White trying to make things happen as well, because he was the one who brought them home against United only a couple of games ago.
The Taipans with a rare turnover in the third quarter.
Little bunny hop. Went with the shot fake, but then lifts the pivot foot up for 4. He puts the ball to the floor. Just a little shuffling of the feet, not a lot in it.
Look at that, 37% for the Perth Wildcats from the field, 59% for the Cairns Taipans.
Trevor Gleeson rings the changes to try and get some fluency about their offense. Tarico White rattles it in and out.
See, I don't mind that, though, because they ran him off a little pin down. Him curling to the basket, jump shot like that. You want your best players going right now to be able to give the rest of the team some belief that you can get it done.
4-11 for Tarico White so far tonight.
Steiner worked hard to get himself open. Couldn't get the end result, though, for all of that hard work. Newell called off the search momentarily. Deng jacks it up. Jeric is a sharp shooter.
Whoa. Starting to get to real danger territory now. This is kicking away for the Taipans.
Comfortably the biggest lead now for Cairns, a 12-point advantage. Perth's offense has completely gone to sleep in this third period.
Catch to White on the board with a little hole.
As that foul's called, let's get down to Lockie Reed, who's got a Wildcat great alongside him.
Well, Jack, I get the feeling the Cats just need a bloke to lay a hip and shoulder and turn the game, because Greg Hire, four-time championship player, this is officially your first game live watching the Cats since you retired last season.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling. I've been trying to put it off for some time because, like, as you know, I've been down here and looking up the scoreboard down 12. This is my moment to shine. So, yeah, no, look, it's been a bit tough. It's been a bit surreal. I've obviously seen some friendly faces in the crowd, but yeah, I love to be out there at the moment. I'm not going to lie.
What's going wrong at the moment with your boys?
Oh, I think I'm not sure whether the guys looking too far ahead of a double header. Obviously, Melbourne coming in here and thinking 4-0 and that, but at the same time, with the hostile environment that Cairns coming in, obviously they're playing fearless, they're playing well, but at the same time, when you've got Bryce Cotton, no games out of doubt.
So at this margin now, it's 70-58. You still give the Cats a chance through Bryce Cotton.
Oh, no doubt. I'm actually sitting with Jared Kenny's partner, and she's actually quite confident. And I said, until Bryce and Tarico get fouled out, yeah, you could be down 25 and you'll still give the Cats a sniff. So, no, it's good. And all you need is a momentum changer. And until there's about 30 seconds left, yeah, I'll give the Cats a good run for their money.
And before I let you go, what do you make of Jared Kenny's mullet?
Absolutely horrible. I mean, I've had some horrible hairstyles in my time, but I don't know what that is, and he's an absolute disgrace.
Good on you, mate. Enjoying retirement very quickly?
I'm trying. We've got our strength and conditioning coach, ex-strength and conditioning coach, and if you check my skinnies, I'll be in trouble. So, no, definitely enjoying retirement, that's for sure.
Great to have you. Greg Hire, four-time champ, and it's now a 10-point margin, boys.
Thanks, Locke. I think retirement's sitting pretty well with Greg at this stage.
And good on him, a man who got absolutely every ounce out of whatever talent he had.
Kenny got it to go. Speaking of Jared Kenny and that mullet.
It's got a bit of thickness, hasn't it?
It's got a lot. It's depth.
Depth. That's a good word for it. But talk about depth. 72-60, and Hire wants Cotton to put points on the ball. Well, he's not going to do it from the bench. Surprised to see both Cotton and Tarico White subbed off with a minute and a half to go, and Trevor Gleeson is searching.
I think he's also making a statement.
By a bench.
Steindl just can't quite get it to happen for him. The Wildcats will get it back. So a chance to make a bit of a hole in this deficit. Norton off balance, tough shot to make it work. Cairns ball.
It is. It's a little unusual sight to see an all-Australian lineup out there for the Perth Wildcats at the minute as well.
Well, it's not even guys like Jesse Wagstaff that we've seen do it. He came on in the first quarter, and I thought he had a real impact on the game. We haven't seen him since.
Shot clock is switched off. Ball in the hands of Scott Machado's had a very important third quarter, a floater for 2 more to take them into three-quarter time. That is one hell of a period for the Cairns Taipans, and look at how happy they are about it as well. They lead by 14 points, and the Wildcats have got to find some answers. Final quarter action coming your way after this. It was a quarter that belonged to the Cairns Taipans. It's been their biggest Achilles heel in NBL 20. 28 points to 16, and that's given them something to work with. There's been a few little highlights like that from Dario Hunt for the Wildcats, but the night has belonged to the Cairns Taipans.
They've just been super efficient on the offensive end and held the Wildcats to 32% from the field, 9 of 7, 33% from the threes. So it's a good result on the defensive end, and I think Trevor Gleeson, we asked, well, with that lineup that he had, I think he was just trying to make a statement about, hey, if you're not going to play any defense, if we lose, we lose, but you're not going to play.
Let's get down to Lockie.
Well, it's all about the lineup, gents, during that three-quarter time chat. Nick Kay is now the 5-man. They've got a smaller lineup and a really attacking lineup with Steindl, who's about to shoot now, and also Kay, Tariko White, Cotton, and Wagstaff. Cairns up and about there. Really a big chance to steal this game.
Well, they need it. They need to go real offensively, and with this smaller lineup, you'd suspect they'll be able to get up the floor, as we're seeing right now, try and generate some turnovers and generate some offense from your defense, which they need, trying to get some cheap baskets, because they have been able to knock them down in the half court.
The problem I've got, Drewy, is that you can search all you want for scorers. Clint Steindl's 2 for 10. He was 0 from 6 from the three-point line coming into this game, and Cotton has still only taken 9 shots for the entire game.
Wow. That's going to hurt from Cam Oliver.
Oh, they've been impressive. You can't cut it up any other way. Cairns Taipans came ready to be able to play.
Let's not forget they got a win in this building last season. So, and I know it's a lot of different people and it's not really that relevant, but it's still, when you think from a coaching standpoint and some of these players, they're familiar with success in this building.
81-79, they won that game in January of this year. The lead far greater at the moment. Thought it was interesting having to watch their body language as they came off at three-quarter time, the Cairns Taipans. They haven't done a lot of smiling so far this season. They were really, really pleased with themselves, and you could see their confidence.
Well, it's a real balancing act, isn't it? You want to take pride in the work that you've just done, but remain focused on the job at hand as well. So they'll be proud that they've gone through that process to try and work out what was going wrong in these second halves, as we see the big fella again celebrating to the Red Army. Oh my, they're up 20.
Completely blown this game apart now, the Cairns Taipans. Cameron Oliver has 17 points.
And it's just guys that normally knock down shots, missing shots.
It's a rare turnover from Machado. Cotton at the other end forces it.
Now that's a forced one, but when you look at some of the shots they've been getting, they haven't been terrible looks by the Perth Wildcats, and when you start to miss a few, you start to get a little bit more anxious. The ones that you normally come to expect to think you've got high percentage on, you start thinking about it more than what you should, and that thing up in the rim looks like a thimble, and it becomes all that much harder.
That's exactly how it looks for Bryce Cotton at the moment. 11 points in the game on 4 of 11 shooting. An interception by Kay.
Poor pass.
Who is going to be the one for Perth to start it off? It won't be Jesse Wagstaff. That shot deflected by Oliver. The Cairns get up the court quickly. Call off the chase. Scott Machado taking away all the time on the shot clock, got his own rebound. An offensive foul call on Kouat Noi.
Right, and this is where your superstars just need to be able to take over. We've spoken about the fact that Cotton and White haven't been able to get themselves into the game, but you have to be able to wipe out missed shots and to be able to fire up right now. And we've seen Tariko White do that throughout the whole playoff series. His output was incredible during the playoffs.
And not a lot of time to go through much process. They usually are a system-orientated team, but right now they need shots. They need them quickly.
Foul's called.
They need scores, and they need them quickly. And there's sets that they can go through that they can get some quality shots and quality looks to those guys that you're referring to, Hammer, quickly.
And they're going to have to pick up full court. They're just going to have to turn it into a more possession game and try and force Cairns Taipans to play quickly. The problem with that is that they're shooting the ball at 57%, so it can also open the floodgates. But right now, when you find yourself down 20 points, you've got no other option.
Martin with the inbound, and they score off the inbound. They need to keep scoring multiple buckets in a row and get stops at the other end. Sounds easy when you say it like that. Now, what's that question tonight? Is this year's Perth Wildcats team more talented than last year? 77% saying yes.
What?
As Damien Martin was a part of last year's team, Wagstaff was as well. 2 more for the home team.
Great timeout, Mike Kelly. 4-point run for the Perth Wildcats. They both came off the back of Damien Martin. Great pass out of bounds to White, and then that steal there to be able to get things going for the Wildcats.
Now, can they hold their nerve, Hammer? Because they've got to work the clock. They've got a nice buffer, but if you start focusing exclusively on the clock against pressure defense and you don't take advantage of some of those overplays to keep that scoreboard ticking over, that can play mind games as well.
So for the Cairns Taipans, who have got themselves in a commanding position at the moment, it's been a team contribution, but Majuk Dang has certainly done his part.
Well, he's got 18 points, but he's 6 from 8 from the field, so incredible effort for him tonight. 4 from 4 from the free throw line as well. So, as Drewy mentioned earlier in the game, does his best work on the pick and pops, got the ability to be able to make those shots, but he's found his way into the paint as well tonight. Have a look at that. 18 points, great effort from him, and his best output so far in a Cairns Taipans jersey.
Absolutely, and I think that what he's done a whole lot better too, and through his tutelage under Joey Wright, is that he's gotten a lot better over the years of understanding the game and shot selection. He uses his length really well, and with that length he can get a shot off quite regularly, but sometimes his shot selection was a little wayward.
And look at this, Jesse Wagstaff full court in this little 1-2-2 press, really trying to turn this around.
The press is on. Cairns can beat that press. We can get down to Lockie Reed.
Oh, really good timeouts from Mike Kelly and the Cairns Taipans. Really liked the leadership of their main players, Nate Jarwai and also Jared Kenny, saying stay on the front foot, remain aggressive, and we can win this game.
Shot clock about to expire. Newell got it off, and it very nearly went down.
Cannot see a ball go further in the hoop and not go in.
Perth have scored the last 4 points in the game. It's going to take a lot more than that. Cotton for 3. Here he comes.
That's what they got to do. With 3 minutes to go, if they can get this into low single digits, the next couple of minutes, get this down to 6-7 points, have Cairns start thinking about it.
Cotton's first points since the first quarter, and what a time to do it as well. Deng with the response, that's deep. Cotton with the rebound.
And you can just feel it. You feel the crowd right now starting to have some sort of belief after being down 20 that they could make another comeback.
Wagstaff driving and drawing a foul.
Do not underestimate the impact of Jesse Wagstaff coming off the bench tonight. I thought he was good in the first quarter. sparingly used in the second and thirds, but now his injection in this last quarter has made a huge difference.
This extended defense and pressure break the press, and the last couple they've settled for perimeter jump shots, and just think that trying to get to the rim, get downhill, try and work your way to the free throw line as well. Another couple of possessions, couple of scores and stops, and it's going to be tough for Perth, but right now that helps the Cairns cause.
Wagstaff misses the second. 5 minutes to play. Friday night basketball at RAC Arena. It's all in front of the visiting Taipans. Shot clock down to 3. Oliver!
Oh my. He is.
That is huge. 2 missed free throws from Wagstaff at one end, a 3 at the end of the shot clock at the other. 5-point turnaround.
And staring down the Perth fans as he walked back after draining that huge 3. It's Wagstaff's turn to try and make something happen. Kay.
Well, that was just too stagnant. They don't want to be throwing the ball into Jesse Wagstaff against some sort of double teams. They need to play a little bit more free-flowing. Get Cotton and Tariko White going downhill.
Again, the Taipans will pull it out and absorb time off the clock. Jared Kenny from the free throw line. They've got an answer for everything, Lockie Reed.
Oh, they do. There's 12,331 in attendance here, and they need every one of their voices to pull off a miracle comeback here, but Cairns are looking good.
They're trying hard.
And I reckon you're right, Hammett. In the last couple of possessions, that time Wagstaff tries the 1-foot floater. I reckon you want most possessions to be going through Bryce Cotton right now. He's hit a 3 a couple of possessions ago. See if he can't catch fire and do something miraculous.
Machado pushes the ball. Oh, Cam Oliver! That's as good as you'll see. That is incredible.
He goes the stink eye too.
He fouls up the other end.
Mike Kelly, he was flexing at one end. Great drive from Machado, just threw it up. He's celebrating in front of the crowd, and then all of a sudden he realizes they're about to get a dunk at the other end and gets his A into G.
Well, you're spot on, Hammer, and good on Mike Kelly too. He understands how this game is a long way from over, and forget about the fist pumps and the flexes. Get back and stop the transition basket.
He had that vein on the side of his neck just starting to flare, Mike Kelly.
Wait for it off the ring here.
3 minutes 48 for the Taipans to negotiate and for the Wildcats to pull off something special. Hard foul from Tariko White. Gets over and helps Deng up.
Well, they've been aggressive against this press as well. And I like the fact they're looking over the front of the press. You can't just make short passes and allow the defense to be able to double team you. You got a pass fake, look over that next line. And Cairns have done it well. Machado makes great decisions. Makes great decisions with the pass, but also then when to be able to put the ball on the floor as well. Checking for unsportsmanlike. I don't think there's anything there.
No.
Like you have
Just an unfortunate clash where two bodies coming together, and
could have been dangerous, but there was no intent whatsoever.
Absolutely.
Trying to make it foul.
No, you pack it up and pack it in if this is going to be called an unsportsmanlike. That'd be ridiculous.
No chance.
But you're right, Hammer. With this extended defense, that takes courage to make a pass like that. And that's what they're trying to tempt you into do, to make a tough pass like that and cause the interception. And you've just got to have that confidence. And if you're playing by your rules and you see that overplay, just feel confident about making that pass. Now, they can come with a certain amount of risk, but that one there, I think, was the right decision.
Just imagine what's going through Mike Kelly's head right now. And a challenging start to the year.
I think they've called this unsportsmanlike. We're out of here.
The contact is from behind the last defense.
Let's get to Lockie Reed.
Yep, confirmed, Hammer. And Andrew Gaze, unsportsmanlike.
Gee.
Well, that's not my understanding. Clearly, unless it's deemed unnecessary force, my understanding of the rules.
I thought the clear path foul, as they explained it there, was done.
Behind or the side on the last defender.
He was saying
There was
The contact
Trevor's
on the
right.
offensive player is from behind or the side, Trevor.
The ball was there and he's right there. It's in front of the ball. Right of the ball.
All this,
It's in front of the ball.
Trev, all this is going
Where's he supposed to be in front of the
Trev,
ball?
this is just going to end up in a technical foul.
Tell me that.
All right, I've given you the answer. We can talk about it later. We're done.
How can you be in the front?
Wow. Well, it's an incidental clash where two guys are just running to the ball. That's not my understanding. But, well, maybe we need to have a look at the rule book. How
It'll be talked about across the weekend, no doubt.
Well, the good thing is, I mean, at the end of the day, it was a 15-point game, so it wasn't like that decision. It was a one-point game and cost either team, because the Cairns Taipans are thoroughly
When it's your night, it is your night.
That is unbelievable. Well done to the Cairns Taipans for going in here and being able to turn these woes around of their second half.
Hammer, we spoke about the keys to the game before the game and said, well, the Perth Wildcats need to defend the three. They haven't done it. 12 of 25, 48% from the three-point line, and this was always going to provide the Cairns Taipans with a chance to win this game.
Sensationally, the lead is 20. Remarkable performance tonight. Deng for icing on top of the cake.
They're all flexing now, and why wouldn't you either? The first win of the season for the Cairns Taipans comes in the hardest venue to be able to get any sort of win against the reigning champs.
Hammer, it's not just a win. This is a
Flogging.
But it's also the way they've done it. They've been really well structured on the offensive end. They've shot the ball incredibly well, but it's been created because of how they've gone about it. And defensively, I think that they've done a really, really good job.
Well, they have. And you sense that Trevor Gleeson has not been happy at certain aspects of his team's performance, just by the way he subbed and kept some of his stars out, particularly talking about the defensive end of the floor.
No wonder Deng was flexing. It's a career high in the NBL for him now. Up to 22 points. Machado's had a big night. That's not his best effort. Perth can try and add some respectability to the score, but it'll matter little. They're normally the ones handing out the lessons at RAC Arena. Deng doing it at both ends. Credit to Perth fans who have stuck around until the very end, but this is not the result they were expecting when they jumped in their car and made their way here tonight. The shot clock expiring. Shouldn't matter. Cotton has had a very quiet 3 quarters of the game, really. Dynamic first quarter. Not much to come after it.
Well, he scored once since quarter time, up to 14 points, had 11 in the first, hit 1 3. But really, they haven't given him enough of the ball, enough opportunities to be able to pick and choose, to be able to make plays for his teammates as well. He's got 4 assists, but we would have liked to have seen him with the ball a whole lot more. He's now out of the game, knowing they've got a game on Sunday.
Give some credit to the Cairns Taipans. We saw what they did. They mixed it up. They blitzed on the on-balls. They really wanted to take the ball out of his hands as much as they possibly could. And by and large, they've done a pretty decent job. He had that little burst in the first quarter. Outside of that, his new ball splashes a 3. And he's done a great job of being a guy who's coming off a 26-point game, being really patient. He's seen his teammates get hot, so he hasn't tried to press the issue individually himself. So
5 players in double figures, Truey.
Really mature performance by Newball as well.
57% from the field tonight, and 50% from the three-point line.
And 31% for the Perth Wildcats.
So they'll notch their first win of the season, the Taipans. They hadn't been 0-4 since 2000 and 2001, which was their first 2 years in the competition. And they avoid that with their start for NBL 20.
Well, this just shows how close NBL 20 is when the last team beats the top team by more than 20 on the road.
There's a late consolation for Tariko White. The Cairns Taipans have shot the lights out tonight and have got that winning feeling.
Good on him.
Final score 99-76.